Welcome to the Chicagoland Speedway for Race 3 of the Mid-2015 Red Light Xfinity Series. I'm your host, Jeremy Patterson, and my co-host is Mike Fair. He'll be helping me keep up with all the action on the track. Tonight, the boys will be racing for 100 laps on this 1.5 mile tri-oval. Temperature 78 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Cars are set up for 50% fuel, so we expect to see some green flag pit stops. Drivers get one quick reset during the race, so if they get into an accident or a mishap, they can get a fresh car and get back out there and continue competing. A couple things about this track. As we mentioned, 1.5 mile tri-oval, 18 degree banking. Pace speed tonight, 65 miles an hour. Pit road speed is 50 miles an hour. So Mike, the first two races of the season were quite clean, but I heard some of the drivers talking about the setup being a little tricky here. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we could see, well, knock on wood, we might have another clean race. I know these guys are top-notch, but yeah, they've been complaining about a car all around. It's, tight on entry, loose off. We should see some, interesting driving here early on.
Yeah, and, to our viewers, we just had an update to the software last week. Sometimes soon after the update, a lot of the setups are a little difficult to work with, so these drivers are really going to have their hands full tonight.
Yeah, that said, though, I think these guys, they're really professional. They know how to get a car underneath them. I think we'll see some guys giving each other room, and as long as they can keep it on track, I think we're going to have a nice clean race. It should make for some great on-track battles, for sure.
Yeah, and that will be fun to watch. Drivers are out there getting their qualifying laps in right now, and so far it looks like Sean Butler is sitting on pole with a 31.329. A very, very fast driver, that guy.
Yeah, he had held back through practice. He wasn't the top of the charts on practice. Looks like he was saving his stuff for qualifying.
And looks like David Howard will start there in the front row with him. A couple drivers are still getting their laps in, so these things we're calling off right now could end up changing, but we do have the info up on the screen right there for you. But if it stays like this, David Howard will be starting up front with him. Max right behind him. A lot of strong drivers. I love seeing the same names week after week these days.
Yeah, a lot of drivers comment that they like to get behind Sean, for example, and check out his line. He's really smooth, so guys feel that they can learn a lot from him, and having them show up every week, these guys are just trying to get quicker. Looks like we got some times of shuffle in here, maybe.
Oh yeah, I see Josh Buckley just posted a 31.382, putting himself in the second row.
He's still finishing up his second lap here. We could see another quick one.
Yeah, we got 30 seconds left of qualifying, so I don't see any drivers on the track right now. Looks like everybody has stopped. And I see the pit boxes getting populated there, getting lined up and ready to go. And it looks like several drivers did not put in a qualifying lap. I don't know, it's possible they tapped the wall. If you scrape the wall at all, it completely invalidates your qualifying lap. So that does happen sometimes when the drivers are trying to push it as hard as they possibly can.
Yeah, for sure. And we were talking about the loose car. So you come off 4, you get a little loose, and that can definitely ruin your qualifying.
And you can see the drivers getting lined up now. A couple more guys to get on the track still, and we'll be rolling off shortly.
Yeah, we got a good turnout tonight. Looks like 20 drivers. It's right in the sweet spot. I'm looking forward to having these guys race each other pretty good here.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that we're able to finally offer decent-sized fields for these drivers. We went through kind of a low spot there where some of these guys were coming in, and there were 10 or so drivers, sometimes even less than that. And so we do appreciate them sticking with us, putting out a good recruiting effort, and now we get a nice, big, solid field for them, and everybody gets somebody. All right, pace car starts to roll off, and we'll right here. Row 1, pole sitter Sean Butler. Next to him will be David Howard in the number 7.
Row 2, we got Joshua Buckley and Max Terrio.
Row 3, Keith Haney and Timothy Lewis.
Row 4, we got John Fursing Jr. and Raymond Edge.
Row 5 is Mike Abbott and Nate LaFleur.
Christensen and William Long on the outside.
And William is a new driver with us. This will be his first race with us, so good luck to him. Row 7, Daniel Haney and Joshua Butler.
Row 8, we got Philip Dick and Jason Garrett.
Row 9, Mike Mahoney and James Haney.
And rounding out the field on row 10, we got Kevin Cochran and Kevin O'Brien.
Field.
Coming to green here, let's see what these guys could do in turn 1. Let's keep it clean, boys. Good Josh pushed Sean down the front stretch there. Got a good gap going on.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a car in its roof already.
Already got one wrecked. It did not bring out a caution. Not sure what happened there. Caution did not come out. Kind of surprising. We'll see if these guys can clean themselves up and get off the track before the leaders come back around.
We do have a caution out. You're good.
Oh! Yeah, we do. I see it now. All right, well, we didn't make it very far into that run.
See if we take a look and see what happened there.
Yeah, which car number was that?
99. Looks like it's got a busted engine, so I'm pretty sure he was involved here.
All right, let's have a look. And it looks like that 973 he was moving up on the outside of the 99 of Butler, and Butler might not have known that he was doing that. Sometimes it can be really difficult if somebody's passing you on the outside on exit. It's hard to know they're going to be there, and you move up the track and come across them.
Yeah, for sure. That looks exactly like what happened there. I don't even think a spotter would have called him outside. It was just barely there. With the way that these cars are already upset exiting a corner like that, it's easy to turn right.
Let's have a look from another angle. Yeah, you see the 973 of Jason Garrett. Yeah, he goes to the outside. He had a run on the 99, but like you said, probably the spotter didn't call that he was there, and Butler just took his normal line and moved up the track, and just bad luck. That's something for drivers to keep in mind. If you're passing somebody on the outside on the exit, you're taking a pretty high risk there because a lot of times they don't know that you're there. Yeah, I know the race that I ran on Wednesday night with the NASCAR League, I had such a difficult time knowing if a car was coming up on the outside. I use the Oculus Rift where everybody is, but when someone's passing you on the right side, it's just so hard to keep track of where they are. There's that big blind spot there, and the spotter doesn't call it out till it's too late.
Yeah, there's something to being said about a real life spotter, and those that have buddies that are in here spotting for them. You got a little bit of an advantage. You can tell runs, you can tell gaps and stuff like that. The iRacing spotter is good for what it does, but it doesn't do enough.
Yeah, that would be nice if eventually it could tell us, hey, he's coming up onto your outside. If it could tell the closing rate, but it'd be kind of difficult.
Yeah, I don't think that that's on their list for sure.
So, of course, nobody pitted, with it being just, well, except for the cars that were involved in the incident to get their resets, but they only made it through a couple of turns.
Well, round number 2 here. See how they do this time around.
Yeah. Very, very close racing up front, all the way through the field. Ooh, Sean Butler does pull out ahead of Joshua Buckley. Buckley now side by side with David Howard.
Love seeing these guys running 2 wide, 5 deep here. It's great racing.
Yep. Kevin O'Brien gets a little squirrely coming off the apron there, but he hangs on to it. And that's one thing for our viewers. These drivers are allowed to use that apron down on the front stretch. Some think it's faster, some think it's not. The thing is, it upsets the car a little bit, and you're kind of coming back up into traffic when you re-enter the track, so it can be a little hairy. And you can see there, all the leaders diving down, or the top 3 anyway, dive down onto it. I personally don't think that big of a difference between driving down there and staying on the main racing surface, though.
I think some drivers like to get down there to break the draft. It's it's a fast track here. Drafting doesn't really come into play, but it can definitely allow you to suck up on that start finish. So getting down on the bottom of the track and trying to get that driver not to follow you down there can.
Got some drivers in the wall. No caution though. Let's have a look at what happened. Looks like that 973 gets caught up again. This time he's on the inside and comes up and hits Kevin O'Brien in the 84.
Yeah, it looks like Kevin actually might get a little loose and turn down into him.
Yeah, let's have another look at
tell.
that. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know if Kevin was maybe trying to hold him down there a little bit, but tough break for Jason. God, in the first few laps, he's already been in 2 of them. And it looks like Jason has left the track. First reset already on that first caution, and that might have did him in for the night.
Yeah, it looks like, actually, looking from Kevin's point of view, the car in front of him gets loose, and it looks like Kevin turns down to stay low, because it looks like the car in front of the wall, so a little bit of defensive driving there ends up taking Jason out. That's unfortunate, but yeah, it's racing. You can't really knock these guys. They're usually clean all the way around.
David Howard is battling Sean for that lead spot. He's not letting Sean run away with this as easy as he normally does.
No, we got a great group of cars in line here, all within the lead. So anybody's game at this point.
And
top four cars.
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna say top four cars are all within a half a second of each other here.
And let's go on board with Joshua Buckley here. He's got first and second place directly in front of him. And I'm wondering if he could maybe work with David Howard, they might be able to get a run on Sean.
Man, it's like he's putting it in the grass there. That's crazy.
Just about.
Good run there.
Yeah, David is on the inside right now of Sean Butler. Oh, Butler looked like he wobbled a little bit coming out of 2.
Definitely had a bit of a wobble there.
They've been side by side almost a full lap, and Buckley, Buckley gets a hold of David's bumper. David hangs onto it. Great job by David hanging onto that. Oh, what a shame, though, battling for the when that happens.
Yeah, that's tough.
Little bump between David and Buckley there. Hopefully they got themselves all sorted out.
Yeah, Buckley's got some front end damage expected there. I don't know how David is. Should be okay. He didn't get into anything really.
Yeah, Buckley just had a run on David coming out of turn 4, and it looked like he just didn't really let up.
Yeah, you got 2 guys, in front of you battling like that. They're obviously going to create a big hole in the air there. You're going to get that suck up, so you get kind of impatient. You feel like you're faster than the cars in front of you.
Right, yep.
But I think Josh probably saw the most damage there, so the only person he hurt was himself, I think. He's got some side damage, he's got some front end damage. That car's probably not going to be really quick until he gets in and gets it fixed.
Yeah, and he's fallen down to 5th, or when that happened. He was 3rd, actually, when that happened. Keith Haney continued to battle for the 2nd spot, and David Howard right back up there with him. I got to say, that was an awesome save by David.
Yeah, for sure. It's so easy to overcorrect it. You're losing the back end. You could turn it right pretty easily too. So
Yep.
Great job.
It's almost like you have to anticipate when the back end's going to start swinging around again, so you can straighten the wheel out. They're cue to know when it's time to. Just have to know from experience that okay, it's about time. Otherwise, it's going to come back around the other way.
Like David gets around Keith Haney there.
Yep.
Back into 3rd.
Max Terrio doing a great job. He's hanging on to 2nd. Butler's starting to get away from him a little bit. It's between himself and the other cars.
Yeah, Max right now he's 5/100ths of a second quicker than Sean. He's 2/10 quicker. He's reeling him in here.
Yeah, he is. Still pretty close battling all the way back through the field. Timothy Lewis is now up into the 5th spot.
Looks like we got a good battle going on between Jamie Christensen and Raymond Edge. 2 admins over at NASCAR. Looks like they got some track time here.
Yeah, always great to see drivers from the other leagues kind of crossing back and forth. I love racing with these guys on Wednesday nights. It's a lot of fun. And a little further back, we got Kevin Cochran and Philip Bundick. Cochran looks at the inside. Bundick goes way high. That might give Cochran the advantage he needs to get around him here on the front stretch.
It looks like Kevin made it a little conservative there. He's always aware of his surroundings. Didn't want to push up into him there.
Yep. Still a lot of racing to go. We're only on lap 22 out of 100. Go back up front. Max Terrio continues to reel in Sean Butler, slowly but surely.
Yeah, he's definitely on him now. Couple more laps. I always say though, it's easy to catch somebody. It's hard to pass them.
Yeah, very much, especially a driver like Sean. And I have a feeling Buckley might have some damage. He was running strong at first, and after that incident with David Howard, you see he's already fallen back to the 8th position. And he started up in 3rd.
Yeah, he's definitely got some right quarter panel damage, right front end damage.
And
the right side of that.
Yeah, and it's so tough too when you have a little bit of damage and there's a long green flag run. Oh, it looks like he almost got to the wall a little bit coming out of 4.
We gotta be getting close to green flag stops. He'll get a quick repair. It'll bounce. He'll be quick again. But then he's got, got to think about the fact that he's only got 1. So. Yeah,
that's true. But at this point, you might as well use it. I mean, you're a quarter of the way through the race already, and he's clearly running a lot slower than what he normally does. He just got passed by the 972 of Raymond Edge. He is coming down pit road now. Buckley is pitting along with several other drivers. I see Timothy Lewis. Actually, it wasn't several. It was just Timothy Lewis and Joshua Buckley are pitting right now. Terrio has caught up to Sean. I'm not sure he's going to be able to get around. Well, Sean is pitting now, so Max Terrio will take over the lead. So new leader Max Terrio as Sean Butler pits. But I tell you what, Max had caught up to Sean right there at the end, so I'm interested to see how this works out when they leave pit road. Sean told me last week that he's been practicing his pit stops a lot, and him an advantage. Let's see how he does here.
Interesting note there. Joshua Buckley did not use his quick repair. He tried to sit in the pits, a little bit of that damage ironed out, but he did not use his quick repair.
Wow. And Sean Butler takes 2 tires and heads out. And we'll go back to leader Max Terrio, who should be pitting here any minute, and we'll see how his pit stop goes.
Yeah, if I'm Max, I was so close, I'm going to want to jump in, get those fresh tires, because, when Sean gets out, he's just going to gap him on those clean tires.
That's right, yep.
He'll probably want to get in here quick.
No, he's taking another lap around at least. Max is a very, very strong driver, very patient driver. I never see him doing any crazy aggressive moves or anything like that. He just stays out here, runs clean and safe. Usually ends up in the top.
Yeah, I was going to say recently he's definitely been a top 3 car every week, so. We're listening to the radio chatter. We got a couple more cars. Nate LaFleur drives by pit entrance.
Was that LaFleur who wrecked in the pit entrance?
He did not wreck. He just drove by. He didn't get it woed down.
I see. Let's go back to Max Terrio, see how many more laps he's going to try and stretch this. Okay, here he comes now. And And you see Keith Haney there, who was running second place right behind him. Now, last week when I was running with NAVSCAR, I was so proud of myself because I had such a fast pit entry. I came in and barely got it woed down in time. I mean, I had it locked up as I was crossing the cones. And then I was so excited about that, I overshot my pit box and completely ruined my chances.
Yeah, it's so easy to do, right?
Very much, yep. Max is going for 4, so he'll be on a different pit strategy, and Keith Haney's going for 4, so they'll be on different pit strategy than Sean. So we'll keep an eye and see what strategy works out better for these guys.
Sean just so he's gonna have quite a bit of a gap. Looks like Sean and Dave are both on a two-tire stop there.
And new leader Jamie Christensen.
Jamie's now in the pits, so
yep.
Sean will go by right here.
So it looks like David Howard, who was also on a two-tire pit stop, he's almost 4 seconds ahead of Max Terrio, and we'll have to keep an eye on these lap times here and see if Max is able to catch up.
Yeah, Dave right now is quicker than Sean, so he's about 0.8 back. So we should see these guys get together here pretty quick, depending if they can keep their times about the same. Max has got some work to do for sure.
Yeah, you can see just over a 3-second gap now, so Max is closing it. And
I like that strategy. I think that allows him to take 2 tires if he needs to.
Yep. And you can see here that David Howard he's about a half a second behind Sean Butler, so he doesn't have a whole lot to go before he's going to be up there battling with the leader. Again.
Yeah, that time Max was.
Yeah, and it seems like the new tires, they really give you a big advantage for the first maybe 10 or so laps, and then after that the advantage they get back on a level playing field. So if he's going to make anything happen, it's got to be in these first 10 or so laps after his pit stop.
Yeah, I agree. He's definitely got to take that opportunity to make some quick laps.
And you can see he's whittled it down to right at 3 seconds behind Max. Or I'm sorry, Max is 3 seconds behind David. We'll go on board with Max. 3 seconds doesn't sound like a long time, but when you're going 200 miles an hour, it's quite a distance. You can barely see those other cars up ahead of Max's view, and that's what he has to catch up to.
You can really hear those tires squirreling in the corners. He's working them hard.
And it looks like he's actually fallen back a little bit from David Howard. Oh, no, actually, he's still catching up. 2.5 seconds. Yeah, 2.5. I was looking at the wrong number there, yeah.
Oh, he got a little loose there.
Yeah, David. Yeah, David got a little loose, and that gave Max a little bit. That's now being threatened by David Howard. And you remember earlier, David Howard was side by side with Sean Butler for the lead when David got tapped and almost turned around. He collected that up, and he slowly clawed his way back. I think Sean has a pretty hefty competition this time.
Yeah, I think David's looking for the opportunity to be able to race him without the traffic behind him. This will be interesting when these guys get together. He definitely likes that shoulder line, though.
Yeah, he does. And David and I go back a little bit. We've been racing together for about 2 years now. He and I, almost immediately when we met each other, realize that we're pretty much the same speed all the time, and almost every single race I find myself side by side with him, and he was a good, respectful driver, and I really liked him. And Kevin O'Brien is now on pit road. He might be getting some more repairs. And Sean Butler now having to deal with some lapped traffic. And we'll see how this plays out. This could give David an advantage, but once David catches up to that traffic, then it could hurt him as well. And David is less than a second behind Sean still. And the 923 of Philip Bundick does a great job of giving Sean plenty of space. David Howard has it almost down to a half a second now.
Yeah, but he's got 2 cars in between him and the leader. Well, 1 car now.
Yeah, it's funny when you're trying to catch up to somebody, they get caught in lap traffic, and you see that number getting smaller and smaller, and then you get into the lap traffic, and suddenly the number gets bigger and bigger again.
Looks like Max is down to under a second from David, under 2 seconds from the leader. He's really putting some quick times down.
Yeah, he sure is. You can see him going around the lapped car now. And I do believe that next car ahead of him is David Howard, isn't it?
You're correct.
Yeah, Max is really making those tires work good for him.
Just listening to the radio chatter, Sean just mentioned over the radio that both of them have to be worried about Max here.
Yeah, I think they do.
Watching his relative, watching those times.
Max pitted kind of late as well. He pitted on, what was it, lap 25, I think. Uh-oh. Okay, I saw Max disappear for a little bit.
Yeah, I got worried there for a second too.
And David Howard's still maintaining a pretty good interval. He's still less than a second behind Sean Butler. A little further back in the field, we got John Fershing and Nate LaFleur. LaFleur is Fershing's bumper. And these guys did really well at the NASCAR race last week.
Oh, we got a caution.
Got a caution. Looks like the 82 car of Mike Abbott went around. Let's go back and have a look and see what happened. Looks like he just got loose coming out of 4 right in front of David Howard, too. He's between David Howard and Sean Butler. Kind of fishtailed a little bit, and wow, so close. I bet you David Howard was puckered up a little bit right there. Good job by Mike Abbott staying off of those guys. You saw him come down, and it looked like he was going to wipe out David, and they managed to get around him.
Yeah, I think we got to watch that in under the 7's in car.
All right, let's go on board with David Howard and see what he saw. And I guarantee you it's going to be a scary sight. You see right there, Abbott gets a little loose. He starts to fishtail. And at this point, David doesn't know which way to go.
Man, he barely gets off the gas, too, man. That was some crazy driving.
Yeah, that was pretty scary. Great job by David avoiding that. Great job by Mike keeping it off of the other cars.
Yeah, when David's down on the shoulder, that last bobble, man, I'm pretty sure he's like, this is over. This is it right here.
Yeah, yeah, it's so awful, you know, and especially, I don't know if David runs with triple screens or not, but when you have that side monitor and you see that car get bigger and bigger in your right eye, oh, it's just so feeling.
Well, they're both on pit road. Let's see what they do here for tires. Right side's up on both Sean and David's car. Both taking 4. I'm sure David or saw Max take those 4 tires and how it worked for him. These guys, you know, want to kind of have some of the same stuff going on.
Yeah, it looks like pretty much everybody took 4.
Smart move under caution for sure.
And Joshua Buckley's still in the pits. He might be getting some repairs. Get caught up in that last wreck. Not real sure. Oh, he might have a penalty.
That, or he still has the damage from that original wall incident that he never got fully repaired. He might be taking the time to kind of bang it out here.
And you can see the leaders coming around now. The pace car's bringing them around. So if Buckley's going to get off pit road without going a lap down, he needs to do it now. No, he is going to go a lap down.
Oh, he's rolling now.
Oh, maybe. Did he make it? Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, he did make it. He cut it close there. If he didn't get a flag for leaving a closed pits, that's he should. Looks like he got okay though.
And let's go ahead and get a word with Joshua Buckley. Hopefully he's not too upset about the wrecks earlier. Joshua Buckley, this is Jeremy Patterson in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Walk us through what happened on your pit stop there. Did you get a penalty or were you getting repairs?
Using the bathroom.
Oh, well, that'll do it. Well, hey, great
Dude,
job
I
getting
flew.
great job getting off pit road before you got lapped, man.
Yeah, it was close. I saw 2 seconds. I'm like, I gotta go.
All right, well, I hope you feel better, and now you got your car, new tires, and I expect to see you running through this field here. Thanks for talking to us, Josh.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep, sometimes that happens. I know I've gone to the bathroom on pit stops before.
Yeah, you just gotta be quick. It's an art.
Some tracks like Pocono, you about got time to go to the bathroom, smoke a cigarette, grab a bite to eat, and then come back and still not lose a lap. So drivers
looks like outside.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say lights are out on the pace car. They should be coming back right here.
Yes, sir.
Sean chose the inside line. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah,
Figured he would be more comfortable on the outside.
I don't know that either line really gives much of an advantage here, to be honest.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So 2 cautions, 3 lead changes, and we're ready to go back green. David Howard dives to the inside. He's almost on the grass there. See if he can get up underneath Sean Butler. I think he did.
Yeah, he definitely got a nice run through that
Wow.
3 and 4 there, the pass.
That was an amazing pass. He had so much momentum coming down that front stretch. New leader, David Howard. That was just an impressive run. So now David's out there in that clean air. Max Terrio's got Sean Butler right ahead of him. He's going to be trying to pick him off, but Keith Haney is about to battle Max Terrio for third. Keith looks to the inside. Door to door coming out of turn 4. Haney goes way high. Haney goes way low. Terrio stays up high. Haney completes the pass on the front stretch. And a little further back, you got Timothy Lewis with Raymond Edge right behind him, and Jamie Christensen looking to the inside. Christensen might be able to pick off both of these cars.
Buckley got a great run going off that corner. I'll try and get him on the outside here.
Yeah, that was a great run by Buckley. I'm sure he's glad his car's all fixed up with new tires and he can run at race speed now. Haney gets into the wall a little bit coming out of turn 4. That could put Max in a position to pass him. And Max does look to the inside.
Loose there.
Yeah, Max looks to the inside. They're going to drag race down the backstretch.
Yeah, you get a car right underneath your spoiler like that, takes the air off, can upset that back end, and it allows you to make that pass.
Haney looks like he attempted a crossover move down on the front stretch, but didn't quite have the momentum to do that. Meanwhile, up front, Sean Butler is now starting to battle David Howard for that lead spot again. Sean's all over his bumper. He looks to the inside, and he'll make a clean pass around David. Ooh, I thought Sean was going to get into the wall coming out of 4 there, but he kept it down. Jamie Christensen looks at the inside of Raymond Edge again. Doesn't quite get in there, though. And now you got Buckley. He's going to be trying to take that 6th position away from Tim Lewis. So Buckley is definitely on the move after that restroom pit stop. He's a little wobbly, though. I keep seeing him wobble coming out of the turns. I'm a little nervous for him. Great job getting around Tim Lewis there.
Yeah, he's definitely got his sights back on the front. He wants to get back up there. He knows he had a quick car early in the race, so.
Yeah, and that's always fun to see. If a guy has bad luck early on, he got in that little wreck.
Ooh.
Oh!
John Furshing bounced off the wall there.
Tim Lewis gets into the wall hard. He hangs on to it.
2 cars in the wall right there. Then corner.
Let's go back and have a look at this. You see Tim Lewis going into turn 3. As he comes out of turn 4, he gets way up into the wall. Let's slow this down a little bit.
Yeah, that was a tough lick.
Yeah, he just shot up the wall. Man, he hit that wall hard. Clobbered it. Good job by the other cars getting around him. Good job by Tim holding on to it and not spinning around there. And Tim is coming down pit road. to get repaired. It's almost pit stop time again anyway, so it's not going to hurt him too bad. Fershing and Buckley now side by side. Buckley just picking them off left and right. Buckley now up in the top 5. Who was the other driver who hit the wall on that last lap?
I believe it was John Fershing. Yeah, it was.
Looks like it didn't damage him too bad. Tim Lewis had to pit.
Yeah, it wasn't nearly as hard. You can see if you look at his right side, he's got some right side fender damage, but yeah, that front end doesn't look too good, but it was definitely not as hard as Tim. Tim kind of put that wall back a couple feet.
Yeah, no doubt. So Sean Butler retakes the lead. He retook it a couple laps ago from David Howard, but David is staying right on his tail. Sean definitely
Max
the dominant. Go ahead.
I was going to just say Max ended up getting around Keith there, so he's back in third.
Yeah, Sean definitely the dominant car. He's led 51 laps, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to run away from these guys as easily as he's been doing in the past. And I think as we continue on, these guys get better and better. Sean's going to find himself in this position a lot more where he has some serious competition.
I'm sure he'll be the first one to tell you it's a lot more fun running with guys instead of running away from guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I remember the first road course when I ever got on iRacing. I won it, it was a rookie league, the Mazda MX-5 at Lime Rock Park, and I think second place was 15 seconds behind me or something. And I said, well, it's cool to win, but it wasn't a whole lot of fun racing. But I'll take a boring win over a, well, no, I think I'd take an exciting loss over a boring win any day.
Hey, we all like winning, but if we're winning every race by miles, it's not fun. A good run here.
Yeah, good run by David Howard. He's right up on Sean.
Yeah, I decided he couldn't do anything with it, so I just backed off a bit.
The thing is, though, I mean, we still got a little over 30 laps to go. If he can just hang with Sean and wait till the end to make his move, he'll probably be better off. I think if you try to battle him this early on, you're going to hurt your stuff. And Sean does a really good job of saving his stuff at the same time.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I want to take care of my tires right here. We still got another pit stop we got to make, so I'll be thinking about 2 tires. And I want to keep the rest of my tires real good, so save it for the end.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll throw the running order up on the screen there so you can see the 12 cars still on the lead lap. Mike Abbott is in the lucky dog position. Remember, Mike was the unfortunate car who got loose on the last, or caused the last caution there. And 4 drivers have retired. Joshua Butler, Jason Garrett, William Long, and Mike Mahoney have all retired from the race. Actually, I take that back. Oh, yeah, they've all 4 retired. So Sean Butler has locked in the bonus point for most laps led. He's led 57 laps so far this race. And big bonus points for Sean this race. He got pole, so that's a point. Hopefully he'll be able to finish another 10 laps here, which will give him a point. All drivers will get a bonus point for completing at least 80 laps out of the race. And of course, a bonus point for leading a lap, and potentially 3 bonus points for winning the race. So we'll see how this plays out, but it's going to be a big bonus points day for Sean for sure.
For sure. Let's take a minute to go back and see what our rookies are doing. top rookie, 972 of Raymond Edge, is in 6th place.
Yeah, and he's been battling Buckley here for quite a bit. Go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, you know, these new drivers, I call them rookies, but rookies with the league, let's say. These guys are all pretty much on par. But I'd like to review them and just give them a shout out here. So we got Philip Bundick, he's in 10th. You know, just around Nate as well, on track position. We got 12th Daniel Haney at the 930, one of the Haney guys. We like to call them Team Haney. We got 3 of them going now.
Yeah,
and
we got father, son, and cousin. So yeah, 3 Haneys there.
I think they should put it on the car. Mind you, they're all running pretty close paint schemes. And rounding out the last driver, we got Kevin Cochran on 982. So I'd like to see these guys showing up every week for sure.
Yeah, we're definitely glad to have them. They are what we needed to kind of round out this league, and they seem dedicated, and they seem like they're having a good time, and we do appreciate their attendance. And just to clarify again for our viewers, we call them rookies. They're definitely not new at this. They've been sim racing for quite some time. What we do is whenever somebody first joins the league, the first season they run with us, we put a 9 in front of their number. So Kevin requested the number 82 for his car. Oh, caution's out.
Oh, caution, it was Max in the wall.
Max Terrio loses it. Looks like, where was that? Coming out of 2?
Yeah, just got behind the 87. Looks like the car got real loose on him, and he got off the wall and couldn't recover it.
Let's go back and have a replay here. You see as he comes out of 2, looks like he pushed. Yeah, he pushed a little bit, got up into the wall, and almost holds on to it. But I think when you're no, I'm kind of surprised that brought out a caution, to be honest. Oh, okay, now I see why the caution came out. He almost held it straight. I was watching it in slow-mo, and I see him going straight down the backstretch. Yeah, you got a car rolling going into the turn. You should probably have the caution flag flying. So, wow, that's a pretty good little skateboard trick he did there. He flipped upside down, landed, pointed the right direction, and kept rolling.
Yeah, it looks like he just got aero tight. He was behind that car, took the air off the nose, and you lose a bunch of downforce, and it kind of just pushes the car up into the wall. Wild ride there for him, though.
Yeah, no kidding. And fortunately, no one else gets caught up in that.
Well, let's see if he's got a quick repair. Hopefully he does. He does, so that's good to see. Gets that car back into good shape.
And you see all the drivers taking 4 tires here. And we got 25 laps to go. They should be able to make it to the end. Now, Nate LaFleur, first place, he did not pit.
Yeah, he stayed out.
So he stayed out. Now, for our viewers, that makes it kind of difficult for these guys behind him. Nate LaFleur is going to be a bit slower on this start than the other drivers. So they have to carefully navigate their way around him.
All or he can come in and he'll be okay.
yeah, there we go. He's coming in.
I was going to say, I don't think he's got enough to go to the end, so he might just want to get...
Yeah, I was wondering if he was just hoping for another caution soon after, and of course if you start out front on old tires, there's a pretty good chance that's going to happen.
I think he was trying to lead a lap, but unfortunately he didn't actually cross the start-finish line in first, so...
yeah, that's probably what happened. Yeah, he was probably trying to lead a lap. Or he may have stayed out, realized that everyone else pitted. Who knows, but... I don't think he got his lap led there either.
No,
but anyway,
he should have taken one more lap, but that's all good.
Yeah. So, but as I was saying, sometimes you'll get a car, especially late in the race. It's still a little too early for this, but if you're down to, you're going to restart with 5 or 6 to go. See cars stay out on old tires, and that can really shuffle things up a bit because they're just not quite as fast out there in the front. They kind of hold everybody up. People get impatient. A lot of times it causes other cautions. So good to see Nate go ahead and pit and get out of that spot. I remember when I first started iRacing, the first time I ran a race that had cautions, I was all excited. I got my C license. I'm running a truck race, and I honestly I wasn't a race fan prior to iRacing, so I didn't really understand pit strategy, so I stayed out. And of course, everyone behind me's cussing me out and upset at me.
Yep.
And I didn't get why until the restart happened. The pack of angry lions chasing me down, and they were passing me on both sides. I was 3 wide in the middle, and oh man, it was nerve-wracking.
Yeah, I hate that feeling, man. It's one of the most uncomfortable positions you can put yourself in. But sometimes, strategically it makes sense. But man, you never been on being on used stuff when the guy behind you is on stickers, man. It can just definitely run your nerves a little high.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are times, if you're in a race that's really, really messy, I'm talking caution lap they can't make it through a whole lap without a caution. A lot of times I will just stay out front because obviously that's all you need to do is stay out there and not worry about that long run with good tires. But very rare, and with this group of drivers we got here, I don't think we'll be seeing any of that. And the lights go green, and we're back to racing with just 21 laps to go. 22 laps to go. David Howard going to try and get the lead again on the inside. Couple drivers in the wall. 81 of Nate LaFleur scraping the wall. A couple guys. Oh, I see a smoking car back there.
Yeah, let's see if we can figure out what happened here.
David Howard might have gotten to the wall a little bit as well. He fell way back. David Howard fell all the way back to 5th spot from the lead. I'm not real sure what happened there.
It also, Nate and Max. Looks like Max ran Nate up to the wall. Oh no!
Buckley's in the wall now.
Just a bunch of guys bouncing off the walls. That's
really
what it came down to.
They're all over the walls. Yeah, I think it causes a chain reaction too. You get guys, slowing down so they don't get caught up in it, and that can push you up into the wall as well. And Sean Butler runs away from that whole mess. Keith Haney right behind him. And look at this, Jamie Christensen in 3rd place. Buckley and Howard now battling for the 4th spot. These guys have definitely traded a little bit of paint with each other this race.
Yeah. Now that Dave's behind him, this could be interesting going into the corner here.
And Max looks to the inside of David now.
The way David's going backwards, I almost suspect he's got a little bit of damage.
Yeah, it might be. He had to have gotten in the wall. We were looking at the other cars when that happened, and when I look back, to the leaders again, I saw David clear back in 5th. So I know something happened to him.
Yeah, his right front fender's a little messed up, so I'm not sure what happened, but he's definitely got some damage. Just ruined his racer.
Yeah, I can see some little bit crumpled up there on his right front.
We commented on cars going into the walls, and I'll tell you, when you're behind a car that goes into the wall, it's real easy to follow them up into it. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened to a couple cars. Oh, almost went into the wall there again.
And Keith Haney is doing a pretty good job of hanging with Sean Butler. And we are down to 18 laps to go. So pretty soon it's going to be getting to the nitty-gritty. Buckley has made his way up to third place, so after a very rough start for Buckley, he is now in the top 3, and he's only got 16 laps to go. Max gets a little loose coming out of 4.
$15 laps to go. These cars are a bit spread out here. We'll see these guys bring it home.
Yeah, at this point, at this point, you kind of accept your fate. If you're not going to win the race, you start thinking, well, what position can I get? What you set your goal and try and get there. I know that race last week, the NASCAR League, I said, I can definitely get a top 3. I got a top 3, and then I botched up that pit stop, and I said, well, I can get a top 5.
Nothing wrong with a top 5.
Oh, no, I'm perfect drivers. I mean, I feel great being able to get a top 5 up there with those guys.
Hey, man, I'm happy whenever I get a top 10 in a 10-car field, man. It's all good with me.
That's right. Max Terrio is threatening the 4th spot from Jamie Christensen, but he's got David Howard right on his tail, too.
Ooh, he bounced off the shoulder there and really...
No.
He collected it, though. Some good driving there.
He did get passed by David Howard in that little melee, though. I think Max's car must be really loose. Every time I see him come out of the turns with a good zoomed-in shot, I see his back end kind of wobble a little bit. And it can be so difficult. You're trying to battle, you're trying to hold off cars, and you're trying to fight your own car.
It's definitely, a loose setup. Loose is quick, and I think that the drivers that, are quick, they learn how to correct a loose car without taking your foot off the gas. Being able to stay in it when your back end is coming out, that's how that's how you do fast laps.
Yeah, absolutely. Timothy Lewis goes around the 930 of Daniel Haney. Haney gets a little bit into the wall on the front stretch there, but hangs on to it. And see the leader is Sean Butler. He still only has a 0.3 second lead ahead of second place Keith Haney. And we are down to 10 to go. David Howard looking to the inside of Jamie Christensen. He's going to try and get that 3rd spot. And Terry back up to him as well.
You can tell Jamie wants that top 3 finish real bad here.
Yeah, he does. Very close battle in all 3 of these guys. David Howard, Jamie Christensen, and Max Terrio.
Max thought about making it 3 wide there.
Yeah, he did. These guys, they're getting a little squirrely. I mean, they know it's getting down to crunch time. We got 8 to go. And Howard and Terrio really, really duking it out. Christensen's just watching them saying, you guys just keep going. You keep battling each other. And Joshua Buckley, he and John Fershing are pretty close together as well. Buckley's just had kind of a string of bad luck. You can see some damage on his car. I don't think he's gonna, he doesn't have much to get up there. We only got 7 laps to go. He did claw his way up to second at one point, though.
Yeah, he was third not too long ago. I'm not sure what happened, but he must have put it in the wall or something.
I think this here is the battle to watch, though. Terrio and Howard and Christensen just sitting there right behind him, waiting for one of them to screw up. And honestly, with Christensen's got a good car, I would maybe even just back off these guys just a little bit to give myself a chance to get past them if something happens.
As you say that, he gets this great run.
Yeah.
Man, I love seeing this, though. These guys, wow.
I think Terrio might have scraped the wall a little bit. I heard someone hit the wall. Yeah, I love it when, you know, you're down to the end. We've run 100 laps now, and it hasn't been a caution fest, and there's still... Oh, no.
Oh.
David Howard gets into the wall hard. Caution is out now. As soon as I get done saying it's not a caution fest. Still not a caution fest, but yeah, I hate to see that right there at the end because that is going to cause us to finish under caution. Let's go back and have a look. See what happened here. You see David Howard gets into the wall coming out of 4. Christensen dives low to try to avoid him. David straightens it out, but Christensen just a little too aggressive trying to go low and avoid him. Gets into the grass and loses it. And I don't think anybody else got caught up. Oh, yeah, Buckley almost caught that. Let's watch this.
Yeah, it looks like exactly what I was talking about before. A car in front of you gets into the wall, you follow him into the wall, and Jamie just followed him into the wall, bounced off, and lost it. So.
Yep. Yeah, sometimes if you're watching the other car too much, not watching the track, that'll happen. Let's watch this on board with Joshua Buckley. You can see the car starting to lose control right in front of him. Buckley gets into the wall. He goes low. And barely. He goes into the grass to avoid Christensen, but he almost gets clipped by Christensen as he washed back down the track spinning. So, unfortunately, I think we are going to finish under caution this time. It's actually been that's happened to us.
One of these builds, iRacing will implement to be a green-white checker.
I sure hope so. I really wish we had the ability to at least take a shot at finishing under green. That's good for everybody. I mean, for viewers, but for drivers as well. I don't like finishing under caution, unless I'm in the lead, of course, but in general, no one likes the race to end under caution. So it looks like once again, Max Terrio is going to be in the top 3. I tell you, that guy he's finishing well week after week.
Yeah, he's definitely consistent, man. And consistency, can win you a championship for sure.
Definitely. And David Howard looks like he'll come in 4th, followed by Fershing. Buckley still managed to get 6th place finishing position, and considering probably he's had this race, I think that's pretty good. I'd be happy as hell with that.
Yeah, for sure, I agree. He's lucky he has a car to bring home after tonight's race.
Yeah, no kidding, because remember, these drivers only have one quick reset, so you get in that many little scuffles, you may not have a car that's drivable. You might have to park it for the night. So Keith Haney does not get to take a shot at Sean Butler for the win, but he does get a good solid second place finish.
Yeah, it's good to see him up front. I'm sure he's happy with that position. Definitely looking forward to having a chat with these guys. Lots to talk about.
Yeah, we'll get talk to the top three here in just a bit. We'll let them cross the finish line, and so there you have it. Sean Butler wins the race.
Can't say enough about these guys, man. We had 5 cautions tonight, but clean racing, most all around, really professional. All these guys go at it really well. This third race has been great.
Yeah, definitely. I'm real pleased with this race. I mean, I expected more cautions. Races of the season, we only had 1 caution total out of 2 races. And I expected more this time, and I'm pleased with what we got, though. It's not a lot of cautions. Not a whole lot of, nothing like people driving too aggressively or anything like that. So good to see. Hopefully they enjoyed it as much as we did. Let's get a word with Sean here. Sean Butler, this is Jeremy Booth. Congratulations on another win.
Thank you, Jeremy.
It looked like you had some pretty stiff competition out there. Who was threatening you the most?
Man, it was a great race tonight, man. It was hard-fought battle there with David, and Max was getting into it, and then Keith Haney out of nowhere. Once that happened off that restart there, and David got up in the wall, man, I was driving the heck out of it to stay in front of Haney. He was doing a heck of a job, and kind of surprised me there because he hadn't been up there at the front with us all night. So great on him, man. It was just a hard-fought battle up there. I was looking forward to fighting David there at the end, but he just got a little tight or something coming off a 4, which is something that hasn't been happening here tonight.
Hey man, you led 85 laps. You were definitely dominant tonight, but I think you had a bunch of competition. I think we had a bunch of guys running around you this week, and I like seeing that. There was no point where you were out 4 seconds ahead, 5 seconds ahead. So, hey man, it looked like fun from my point of view.
Oh yeah, it was awesome racing. Like I said, David was fast, Max was fast, Keith was fast. I mean, there was a bunch of guys, and you're right. It just could never get away from anybody. This track produced some pretty good racing tonight. The 85 laps led is a little deceiving because there for a while, David could have he had a couple runs on me, but we were just trying to work together and pull away a little bit there, and it was working, but.
Yeah, well, great job, Sean. Again, I know I always say it, sound like a broken record, but we're glad to see you with us every week, and these drivers like having you there to kind of mentor them a little bit on getting around the track. I know you've helped me sometimes in practice sessions, and sometimes it's just you see the track differently than a lot of us do, and it's good to get that insight, so we do appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks, Jeremy. I love racing here. A bunch of good guys, lots of good competition. As everyone saw tonight, man, it's just all pretty all stuck together there. Wasn't until Max wrecked himself, or I'm not sure what happened back there. He hit the wall or something. I don't know. All of a sudden he was gone. And then David hit the wall, but just the way races goes, man. So sometimes it's the guy who makes the least or no mistakes, man.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, great having you with us. Congratulations on another win, and we will see you next week, Sean.
Unfortunately, we'll see me next week. I'll be flying home or coming home from Idaho next week. I'm going back for a wedding, so I'm going to miss running Dover. I love Dover, and it would have been interesting to see if anyone had anything for me, because I don't know why. I just love that place.
All right, well, we will see you next time then. Thanks, Sean.
Yep, see you in 2 weeks. Thanks, guys.
And it looks like Keith Haney. Oh, there he is. Hold on. Keith Haney, this is Jeremy Patterson in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, congratulations on a good, solid second place finish there.
Yeah, I was beginning to wonder if I'd ever talk to y'all again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, at the end of that race, man, you just kind of showed up and you were able to throw down some really fast laps. Looked like you were, a couple more laps. We just won't see that caution on. I think it would have been an interesting finish. Tell us about the race.
Man, it was a great race. Sean and David was up there battling really good. That was awesome to watch. Me and Max, we were battling really good. Max is a great driver. Sean, Josh, David, all those guys were really fast tonight. I really thought that fifth place was about the best I was going to do. But, man, as the lap started winding down there, I was like, man, I might have a shot at this. But, man, as the lap started winding down a little bit more, Sean started getting a little bit smaller. So I was like, oh, man, I just better hang on a second.
Well, you did a really good job. And were you happy or sad to see the caution come out there at the end?
I was actually, man, I had my, I didn't know how many laps we had left, so I thought maybe this caution would, we would have like a 1 lap shootout there. So I was kind of excited at first until I seen how many laps we had to go, and I knew it would end under caution. And I can't say I was too bummed in either, just because I knew that I sealed the deal for second, and it's been a long time since I've talked to you guys, like I said. So I'm happy with second.
Yeah, I know that feeling when you're in a good spot and the last caution comes out and finishes the race. You kind of take a breath of fresh air and say, "Oh, okay, I did it. I'm good."
Exactly, man. Exactly.
All right, well, we do appreciate you racing with us week after week, and we were talking earlier about we have kind of the Haney family in here now. We got you, your dad, and your cousins, so good seeing that. I love seeing the family get on the track together.
Yeah, man, it's great racing with you guys. Daniel, he did really well tonight. Dad, he did really well tonight, so it was a good day for us.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, thanks for racing with us, and we'll see you next week, Keith.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
You too. Max Terrio, seems like I get to talk to you every single week, man. Great job.
Thank you very much. Let's just say that this week was pretty eventful.
Yeah, so we saw you take a little ride there on the backstretch. Talk to us about what happened there.
Well, that second run was going just like the first one. I was hanging behind David and Sean, and it's just like someone flipped a switch. The car wouldn't turn anymore. I was running. I looked at my lap times, running 31.8, and all of a sudden, it completely stopped turning for a couple of laps. I was riding up the corners, and then that third lap after that, it just broke completely off, and I have absolutely no explanation about that. That's one time I really wish we could have real-time tire temp, but hey, good thing for those resets.
Yeah, no doubt. You had a lot of good battles with David Howard, I saw, and you even battling for the lead there with Sean Butler for a bit. It looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, every week we seem to find each other on the tracks, David and I. And with Sean, actually, I was surprised I was able to run as quick as him. I think it was on that after the first pit stop. And that's why I was so surprised that the tires fell off after that, because I actually was faster on the long runs.
Yeah, that first pit stop where you took 4 and they both 2, we were questioning it at first, but man, you caught up to them. You were consistently almost half a second quicker at times. It was some great laps.
Yeah, I decided to go for 4 because I read that apparently since the update they added tire wear, which I'm not really sure if that made that big of a deal. But I was fortunate enough to benefit from some lapped cars that gap at that point.
Well, great job, Max. Always great getting to talk to you week after week. You're by far one of our most consistent 3 finishers, and we love seeing you in here every week. You're a good, solid, clean racer, and we will see you next week at Dover.
Yep, thank you very much. Continue your job, guys, with the broadcast. Always fun to watch the replays on YouTube, and we'll see you at Dover next week.
All right, we'll see you then, Max. All right, so yeah, pretty good, solid race there. I enjoyed watching that, Mike.
Yeah, all around, man. Like you said, we had some incidents, but entertaining racing, a lot of skill from these drivers, and I think next week we're going to see more of the same, but it's Dover's obviously a little bit different of a track.
Yeah, so next week, it'll be Monday, June 22nd. We will be at Dover, and I can't remember how many laps were done there. I think it's 120, is it?
Sounds about right. I don't have it up.
I'm pulling up the schedule now, and that will be 130 laps at Dover. So a lot of laps. It's a shorter track, steep banking. Could be quite difficult. I know whenever I race at Dover, I have the hardest time. It just seems like those walls just want to jump out and just jump right in front of you.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of the fastest short tracks you'll race at, and these guys are going to turn some quick laps, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen next week. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. And just run you real quick through the rest of our regular season. We have Dover next week, then we'll go to Texas, then Kentucky, New Hampshire, and then the end of our regular season will be at Indianapolis. We've never raced there as a league, so that'll be fun. And then go ahead.
I was going to say the Brickyard's it's definitely an experience. It's a special track. So.
Yeah, honestly, when I race the Brickyard, it almost feels like it's like going to a road course, sort of, because it's so much different than every other oval you race on.
Yeah, the closest thing we get in Pocono, and that's not even close.
Yeah. And then, so after that happens, we'll round up our top 8 drivers, and we're going to run a chase. It's the first time we've done this at Red Light. We're doing this. NavScar is also going to be doing a chase at the same time, so it'll be exciting having both of those competitions happening at once. And really mix it up here. Our final race will be at Bristol, which is always a kind of a wild card. It's a very difficult track, very insane, so we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, it's definitely those 4 tracks, man. It could shake things up. A whole bunch of different experiences, and man, it's going to make for some crazy finishes.
Yes, sir. And before we go, I do want to give a shout out to the NavScar League. You can go to their website, navscar.com. You can see the URL right there on your screen. Brand new website. It looks like you did a great job on that, and you can go there and apply and race with us on Wednesday nights. Also, Sunday nights, you're doing a touring series now, right?
Yeah, that touring season's been really popular. We're rotating out the cars, we're rotating out the road courses. We're going to go some pretty big name road course tracks that a lot of the oval guys might not have a ton of might not be familiar with them. But man, they put out some fun stuff. We had a really close finish last time. We got a little bit of clip of the race on Sunday, and yeah, a lot of guys enjoy it.
Yeah, I raced a part of a race there and enjoyed it. I like the road courses, so I'll be definitely back to race some of those. And just for all of our viewers, don't forget to go to our website, redlightleague.com. That's where we post our schedules and standings, some photos, links to our various pages. There's a link to our YouTube page, which you could be watching right now live. Please subscribe to our channel, and also you can get a link to our Facebook page. You can like us there, and we like to post little things here and there, messages for the drivers and for the viewers. And once again, just a reminder, next week, June 22nd, broadcast goes up at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and that will be 130 laps at Dover. And until then, we'll see you. Have a good night.